Hey guys, did V invade your childhood too? This iconic miniseries is begging for a rewatch, and this time we're bringing the whole cast along. Let's gather around the screen, or imagine it if you're enjoying the real campfire experience. I bet you remember the iconic characters, but wouldn't it be fun to see how the actors behind them have changed? Tell me who you'd love to catch up on in 2023, and together we can dig up some interesting facts about their careers. Number 1. Mark Singer as Mike Donovan. Space, Robots, Panic Attacks. Just another Tuesday for engineer Mike Donovan, who's blasting off to a rogue robot crisis with his level-headed partner, Greg Powell. Their adventures span many different areas, including Mercury, an asteroid mine, the space station, and a hyperspace ship. Donovan is shown to be more skeptical and even fearful of the robots than Powell is. In Reason, he becomes afraid of Cutie's actions when Cutie starts to question his own existence and ultimately begins a robotic cult. After winning Miss New Hampshire and competing in Miss America, she pivoted towards her true passion, acting. Following drama studies, she landed a role on the long-running soap opera One Life to Live in 1977. This launched her television career, which included appearances in primetime shows like Falcon Crest. However, it was her portrayal of the ruthless alien leader Diana in the sci-fi miniseries V that truly catapulted her to fame. This iconic villain role solidified Badler's ability to command the screen, even as the antagonist. Following the filming of the Mission Impossible revival in Australia, Badler decided to make the country her home. She continued to act in Australian productions like the local adaptation of Cluedo, showcasing her versatility. Beyond television, Badler even ventured into cabaret performances, demonstrating her talent as a singer as well. Mike Donovan was played by Mark Singer when he was 36 years old. As of 2024, Jane Badler was 76 years old. While age is a natural process that everyone experiences, it is the grace with which one handles the passing years that truly defines them. Badler has embraced her journey, allowing her experiences to enrich her performances and presence both on screen and on stage. Number 2. Jennifer Cook as Elizabeth Maxwell. Elizabeth's a good egg, raised human, even though she's part visitor. This gives her a unique perspective. She sees the good in people, even the bad guys. She's got a whole toolbox of superpowers: perfect memory, super hearing, healing people, floating, and even seeing glimpses of the future. These aren't just cool tricks. They show she's a mix of human and visitor. Jennifer Cook rose to fame for her role as Elizabeth, the half-human, half-alien star child in the 1984 sci-fi series V. Before that, she appeared on the soap opera Guiding Light as Morgan Richards Nelson from 1981 to 1983. She also had roles in the NBC miniseries A Year in the Life and the HBO series The Hitchhiker. Cook's most recognizable film role came in 1986 with the slasher movie Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives, where she played Megan. Following this film, Jennifer Cook stepped away from acting. She married Celestial Seasonings co-founder Mo Siegel in 1989, started a family with 2 children, and has largely remained out of the spotlight. Mike Donovan was played by Mark Singer when he was 20 years old. As of 2024, Jennifer Cook is 60 years old. While she has made rare public appearances since her retirement, such as being interviewed for the retrospective documentary Crystal Lake Memories about the Friday the 13th film series in 2013, there is limited public information about her current appearance. However, it is known that she has embraced her life post-acting with the same grace and poise that she carried during her time on screen. Number 3. Michael Durrell as Robert Maxwell. Spaceships filled the sky, and Dr. Robert Maxwell, a scientist with a nose for the new, was hooked. These weren't lab rats. These were visitors. Aliens. At first it was fascinating, but soon the shine wore off. The visitors weren't friendly, and they weren't leaving. Robert switched from curious scientist to worried dad, especially when his daughter Robin became tangled in their plans, pregnant with a half-alien baby. Robin was in danger, and humanity was on the line. Robert was smart, a scientific whiz. He used his brains to fight back, figuring out the visitors' weaknesses. He became the Resistance's secret weapon. But smarts weren't all he had. Robert fought for his family, for his world, with the love of a father and the courage of a hero. Michael Durrell has roamed the worlds of TV and film, leaving his mark on everything from daytime dramas to sci-fi miniseries. He kicked off his career in New York, playing a lawyer on The Guiding Light. Then, it was prime time all the way, with guest spots on shows like Kojak and roles in TV movies. But audiences might remember him best as a futuristic foe in the chilling V miniseries, or as the ever-present Dr. Martin, father to Donna Martin on Beverly Hills 90210. The transition from a regular on-screen presence to more sporadic appearances is a common trajectory for many actors as they age. Aging in the public eye can be a unique experience, especially for actors who have been part of culturally significant works, like V. Number 4. Robert Englund as Willie. Learning English and fitting in with humans was a whole other battle for Willie. He fumbled his words a lot, which just made him even more endearing. Deep down, Willie wasn't a fighter. He'd rather make peace than war, which is why he ended up helping the humans fight back against his own people. Even though it meant putting himself in danger, Willie just couldn't stand by and see innocent people hurt. Robert Englund wasn't always Freddy Krueger. Before the horrific makeup and terrifying glove, he was a classically trained actor who honed his skills on stage. He then transitioned to film and TV, taking on lots of character roles. But everything changed in 1984 with a movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street. Englund's portrayal of Freddy Krueger, the creepy dream monster, launched a successful horror franchise and turned him into a cult star. Just like Bela Lugosi with Dracula or Boris Karloff with Frankenstein, Robert Englund became synonymous with his iconic character. Think about it. Freddy Krueger is as recognizable as Norman Bates from Psycho. This is especially impressive when you consider characters like Jason from Friday the 13th who don't even have a face. Englund wasn't a big guy, but he brought Freddy Krueger to life with his deep voice, sharp features, and of course those unforgettable clawed fingers. Freddy's dark humor added another layer to the character, making him even more chilling. Willie was played by Robert Englund when he was 37 years old. At 76, he remains active in the entertainment industry and continues to be a beloved figure in the horror community. Number 5. Michael Ironside as Ham Tyler. With a personality bigger than his ego, which is saying something, Ham has a talent for turning regular folks into badass freedom fighters, but his tough-as-nails attitude can also get him into trouble. His no-nonsense, take-no-prisoners approach doesn't exactly win him any popularity contests. Things really hit the fan when these two butt heads over a risky mission. Ham, always one for taking the more explosive route, goes head-to-head with Donovan, who's a little more cautious. Their disagreement turns into an all-out brawl, and it's anyone's guess who will come out on top. As they fight, the rest of the resistance watches on, wondering if these two will be the heroes or the downfall of humanity. Immediately recognizable to film and television audiences for his piercing gaze and gravelly tones, Michael Ironside essayed powerful, often dangerous figures on both sides of the law in countless films, including Top Gun, Total Recall, and Terminator Salvation. Ironside's small-screen appearances include the epic miniseries V and its spin-off series, as well as recurring roles on Sequest 2032 and guest spots on The A-Team, Hill Street Blues, and many more. In 2003, Ironside garnered acclaim and a Gemini Award nomination for his portrayal of biker gang leader Bob Durrell in the Canadian miniseries The Last Chapter 2, The War Continues. His diverse body of work and commitment to his craft have solidified his place as a revered actor in the entertainment industry. As of 2024, Michael Durrell is 74 years old. He married Karen Dinwiddie in 1986, and they have a daughter born in 1998. He also has a daughter from a previous marriage. Ironside has battled and survived bowel, prostate, and thyroid cancer. Number 6. Judson Scotts, as James Lieutenant James was one of Diana's top lieutenants, always ready to carry out her orders no matter how dirty. He even led a fake resistance group to trick humans and damage the real resistance's reputation. Ruthless and cunning, James was a real thorn in the side of the good guys. But things got complicated when James and Diana started seeing each other romantically. They even hatched a plan to kill the leader of the visitors. In the end, though, their reign of terror came to an end. James and Diana were both arrested by their own people, leaving Earth a little safer. Judson Scotts carved out a solid career in television and film. He began on shows like V the Series in the mid-'80s and landed roles in various TV movies throughout the following decades. The 90s kept him busy with appearances in series like Raven and The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. He even snagged a part in the Lenny Henry comedy True Identity. Scott's resume broadened further in the 2000s and 2010s. He scored credits in major Hollywood productions like Iron Man 2, Captain America: The First Avenger, and Thor. He continued working into the 2010s with a role in the comedy Annie. James was played by Judson Scotts when he was 33 years old, and now he is 71 years old. Number 7. Howard K. Smith as himself. Howard K. Smith was a big name in news reporting, and he had a career that lasted a really long time. Born in Louisiana in 1914, he started out writing for local papers and then made a big leap to join CBS in 1940, working under the famous Edward R. Murrow. He was one of the last reporters to leave Berlin before the U.S. entered World War II, and his book about his time there was a hit in the States. Smith was part of the Murrow Boys, a group of journalists who helped CBS become a big deal in news. After the war, he was the main guy for CBS in Europe, covering everything from the Iron Curtain to the Middle East. But he got into trouble during the Red Scare and was blacklisted for a while. Smith won some big awards for his work, like the Peabody and an Emmy. He was known for being smart and sticking to the truth, and he set a high standard for news reporting. He showed that being a reporter is about more than just telling stories. It's about being responsible for sharing the truth and making sure important events are not forgotten. Howard K. Smith's life was a lesson in the power of the press and the importance of sticking to your principles. Howard K. Smith was played by himself when he was 60 years old. Sadly, Howard K. Smith has died of pneumonia aged 87, was the last survivor of an outstanding generation of American broadcasting reporters. Number 8. June Chadwicks as Lydia. This ambitious visitor leader claimed to be all about serving the big cheese, but everyone knew she craved the top spot herself. Her main rival, the equally ruthless Diana. Lydia would rather see Diana wiped out than the pesky humans causing trouble on Earth. Lydia wasn't exactly known for her humility. Vanity practically dripped off her, and respect was a word missing from her vocabulary, except for her brother Nigel and the leader, of course. Let's just say she wouldn't win any Most Likeable Visitor awards. June Chadwicks built a busy career on the big screen, racking up roles throughout the 80s and 90s. Her early work included dramas like The Comeback and comedies like The Last Horror Film with Caroline Munro. You might also recognize her from cult classics like This Is Spinal Tap with Rob Reiner and action flicks like Jumpin' Jack Flash with Whoopi Goldberg. Her career spanned genres with appearances in everything from dramas like Distortions to adventures like Kirk Douglas's Diamonds. Lydia was played by June Chadwicks when he was 33 years old, and now she is 72 years old. Number 9. Michael Wright as Elias Taylor. Elias, a notorious figure on the black market, harbored a long-standing rift with his father and brother, Benjamin. The tension stemmed from constant comparisons, with Benjamin lauded for his righteousness, leaving Elias feeling ostracized. This fractured relationship persisted for a decade. Their paths crossed again when a desperate Benjamin, involved in a burgeoning resistance movement against the visitors, sought Elias's help. Elias, accustomed to lining his own pockets, refused to offer his resources, weapons and materials readily available in his line of work. Michael Wright's career path is anything but predictable. He's traversed genres with ease, appearing in everything from sci-fi epics to gritty prison dramas. Early in his career, Wright landed a memorable role in the groundbreaking miniseries V and its sequels, playing the courageous Elias Taylor. He then took on diverse roles, including a guest spot on Miami Vice and a stint as gang leader Clinton in the cult classic The Wanderers. The late 90s and early 2000s saw Wright land recurring roles on shows like New York Undercover and Oz, showcasing his dramatic range. He brought depth and complexity to the character of Omar White in Oz, a stark contrast to his heroic turn in V. Wright's filmography boasts credits alongside big names like James Belushi and Wesley Snipes. He's never been afraid to take on challenging projects, and his dedication to his craft shines through in every performance. Elias Taylor was played by Michael Wright when he was 28 years old, and now he is 68 years old. Number 10. Duncan Regers as Charles. This dude wasn't some random space goon. He was basically visitor royalty coming from this elite family called the House of Roman. With that kind of bloodline, Charles figured he should be in charge, not some lady named Diana. So he tried to pull a fast one and take over the whole operation. Duncan Regers was a skilled performer who carved a path through Hollywood films and television for decades. Early in his career, Regers landed roles in historical miniseries like The Blue and the Gray and The Last Days of Pompeii, showcasing his dramatic chops. He also brought a touch of class to 80s classics like The Monster Squad and Gore Vidal's Billy the Kid. But Regers wasn't afraid to take on action roles, too. The 90s saw him suit up as the iconic swordsman in The New Zorro, a role that perfectly captured his charisma and physical presence. He also brought his talents to action films like Flying Virus and Blood Surf. Regers' television career was just as impressive. He charmed audiences with recurring roles on sitcoms like Sybil and dramas like Fast Track. He continued to act well into the 2000s, appearing in thrillers like Nightmare at the End of the Hall. Duncan Regers' legacy is one of versatility and talent. He could switch between genres with ease, leaving audiences entertained no matter the role. Charles was played by Duncan Regers when he was 33 years old, and now he is 71 years old. Number 11. Frank Ashmore as Philip. Character actor Frank Ashmore got his big break in the benchmark 1980s parody films Airplane and its aptly titled sequel, Airplane 2: The Sequel. Though he appeared in only small roles in both films, he soon garnered recognition as Martin, a peaceful extraterrestrial in NBC's made-for-TV science fiction epic V. The popular film spawned a miniseries that went under the subtitle The Final Battle, on which Ashmore reprised his role. When V was serialized in 1984, Ashmore's character was killed off almost immediately, but he appeared as an entirely new personage, Philip, in 7 episodes. Sci-fi aficionados may also recognize Ashmore from the original Battlestar Galactica, on which he appeared in the 1979 episode Murder on the Rising Star as the villainous Flight Sergeant Ortega. Unwilling to be tied down to any particular genre, however, Ashmore has appeared on a diverse array of over 24 television shows since 1972. Over his career, he filled guest roles on the medical soap General Hospital, the throwback sitcom Happy Days, and the snappy political drama The West Wing. In 2010, Ashmore lent his talent to new corners of the entertainment industry. He acted in several episodes of the web series The Guild and voiced mobster Leon Galante in the Electronic Arts video game Mafia 2. Philip was played by Frank Ashmore when he was 39 years old, and now he is 78 years old. Number 12. Akiliong as Mr. Chiang. Not only has Akiliong built a successful career as an actor, writer, producer, and singer, he has held multiple leadership roles in entertainment organizations, including the National Board of Directors of the Screen Actors Guild. But before his impressive career began, he lived a modest life. After growing up in Trinidad, he moved to New York with his mother, where he attended Boys High School and Brooklyn College. His start in entertainment came when he auditioned for the Broadway production Tea House of the August Moon in 1954. Akiliong then started in television by appearing on NBC's Producers Showcase in 1956. The following year, he broke into films by playing a chef in Motorcycle Gang. His career was unstoppable after that, as he appeared in everything from the 1963 wartime flick Operation Bikini to the 1996 dark comedy The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. While he also acted in more than 200 TV shows, Akiliong may be best known for his brief stint as Senator Hidoshi on sci-fi series Babylon 5. When Akiliong wasn't acting, he found time for a sideline in singing, even scoring a hit with the tune Trade Winds, and working as a promotions manager for Capitol Records. Akiliong also produced, wrote, and directed a few later films, including I Am Somebody No Chance in Hell in 2008 and Shish Kebab in 2011. Mr. Chiang was played by Akiliong when he was 50 years old, and now he is 89 years old. So that's it, everyone. Gone, but not forgotten. These actors left a mark. Share your favorite memories in the comments. See you next time.